his truck before he could leave.
Yeah.
Very happy camper. That's where he went.
People walk out, and I wonder if it's because you're going to have a hard time doing this. So I agree that that's absolutely the growth right now is showing. The amount of people onboarding and coming into onboarding is crazy. There's a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of curiosity even in other parts of eXp about what we're doing here. We're known to have this incredible culture. We're known to be the group that makes things happen. So I need to know you guys are committed so we can make things happen. I can't do the magic without you. And even if you want to type just in here, I need to know that you guys are behind this and that we'll get through whatever it takes to become out the other side stronger agents with better understanding, and that we will nail this, because if we do, everyone else is going to look at us and go like, what Kool-Aid are those guys drinking? How come every time I go in for a listing appointment right now, I can't beat an eXp agent? How come they've got so many more sales on the board? You know, just type it in here. Tell me that you're in, because I need to know that if we provide this education, if we start working on our scripts, if we start even just having masterminds, that you guys are here, you're in on this. And this is something nobody else is doing right now. If you want to know what your advantage is, it's this. This is it.
Hey, Deb, it's Phil Hahn, and I just wanted to put it out there. First of all, thank you so much for your amazing dynamic leadership, and everybody with the Canadian team as well. And I am 1,000% in. We are getting inquiries from, all kinds of different industries about our platform, and it's just so exciting. And I just want to put this out there to everybody, whether you're part of our, organization or not. We're all one, part of the same group, which is eXp Realty as shareholders. And reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm here to help anyone that needs any assistance as well. I love you guys, and I am 1,000% in and committed to this group.
Love you too, Phil.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And look at you guys. Look at who we are. It gives you goosebumps when you look through the texts that are coming in right now.
Deb, if I could make a couple of points
on
echoing what you're saying. First of all, happy anniversary of being with eXp, and thanks for having us all aboard this awesome team of eXp Canada, and of course the rest of eXp International. It's just been an honor to work with you and with everybody else here, and I'm sure I'm saying this for everybody. So thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Love you, Deb.
I love you guys. Like, that. Like, this is not, that when I came out of retirement, it was to build something really, really cool with a really amazing group of people. And this is what we're doing. It's we're creating something that's really amazing. And 2 years ago, to this day, I said that by the end of this month, we would have 1,000 agents. So that was a goal I made 2 years ago. And any of you that were here at that time, you will know we were not in great shape. We were struggling. We didn't have too much. And it's that team that has created that. I gave the vision, we created that. Now, here we have about, I'd say, a minimum of 5 months ahead of us, 4 to 5 months. So at 4 to 5 months, we're going to give you some training. I want you to, if you have any questions for yourself or even for your clients, I want you to go and take in Pablo's and Simone's class that they're offering. Does anyone have the time here when it is in the day? The Zoom call, right?
So today there's one at 12:30 p.m. And I will put the link for the Zoom right in the chat here soon.
Thanks, Pablo.
12:30 Mountain Time, right, Pablo?
So here, that's going to be, that was my aha yesterday morning. And it brought it real, and it made things, start moving and recognizing how we have to ramp up this part. This part right now, for a lot of people, is still a little bit of denial. But pretty soon, everyone's going to have that big aha moment. And oh my gosh, this is real. This is really going on.
And Deb, if I can add my second point to, other than congratulating you on being so awesome.
Yeah.
But, just adding everything on here is that all of us have been waiting for friends and loved ones that we care about in this real estate business to reach out to us to share this vision that is eXp. And, you talk about silver linings. I think there's going to be a few here in this situation. And I just want to tell everybody, be prepared for those people to reach out to you, because there's going to be a lot of people asking questions about many things and many aspects of their life, and especially their career. And now when people will have time to stop and look around, just may be that time where they call you up and say, okay, what is this eXp thing all about? And the nice thing about what we're talking about today, everybody, is that as leaders in the eXp in the country, and I know there's people that aren't here yet, but there are people who will be able to contribute to everything we're going to be doing in the coming weeks and months, should this carry over for as long as we think it will. So be prepared and know that you have something to invite these people to. So we're going to be doing some things like Deb said, and certainly we're going to be leaning on our CAAC, who are all awesome people, as well as our icons throughout Canada, even within the United States, just to bring some leadership and some guidance and some learning to us. So when those people reach out, offer them a guest pass and get them into some of what we're going to be doing here, and show them just how awesome we are and how they can contribute to that. So that was my second point.
John, thank you. Hey, and on that note, guys, this is not the time where we go and recruit. We never recruit, we attract. And people are smart enough. We don't know what's going on in their minds. We don't know what's going on in their lives. Let's just help everybody. Let's just help our fellow agents. And if you see somebody struggling, whether they're with our company or not, welcome them in to come take our classes. Welcome them into taking a look at our mindset. Because I guarantee you, how you go and what's so. And somebody asked there who it was. Let me just see if I can find it, and I would get it to you right away. Sorry, so what's so? It's by Werner, Werner, capital ERHARD. What's so? So you might want to just look them up, Google them, and you'll be able to get that. So what's going on for you guys? What questions do you have about this time? Do you have any?
I got a comment, Deb.
Please.
So I've sent about 30 videos this morning, mostly just, hey, how's it going? Checking in. Hope you're staying healthy and safe. And within probably 2 minutes of sending each video, instant response, instant open, instant play, and instant engagement. It's insane that people are home right now. So I think you're right. We have an opportunity to shine and just to let everybody know that we're here to help.
Wow. Now, did you send that to your friends, or did you send it to your clients, or who did you send
No,
that to?
I reached out to my database because I think the biggest thing right now is going to be not taking our foot off the gas and we come out on top. So, with a 3-year-old in the background.
Nice. That's cool. What else, anybody?
Sorry, Deb, it's Colin here. I think what was just mentioned is really, really important. I'm really concentrating on being a good steward of my community, and I suggest everybody else does. I've been sending bombs to clients, to people that I'm involved with in other things, and just checking in to make sure that they're okay, and offering that if they know of seniors or shut-ins or anybody like that can't get out, that I'm more than willing to go and do a
crossed
pickup.
100
So
users in this auditorium, and with emergency in half of the provinces going right now, you can't even have a meeting like this anywhere else except for eXp World. So thanks very much for putting this on today, Deb.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and Colin, thank you. Thank you for being that steward. So here is the link. Here's a link, and I'm just hoping it works right now. It's a link to Zoom calls that we're going to be having. And it may not be always me on that call, but every day at 6 p.m., Pacific Standard Time, I will be on that Zoom call. If any of you have any questions, you know of somebody you think would be a great speaker, you want to learn about something, if you think there's a direction we need to go, please look at that. Please just go in at 6 p.m. I'll be there, and share it out, please.
Deb?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's absolutely fabulous. Thank you. So that's 6 p.m. and we can invite other agents.
Anyone.
Take part. Fabulous. I sent out an email to realtors last night inviting them to a Zoom call that Pablo and Simone were putting on. And it was just interesting. My assistant called me and she said, we sent out 400 to agents that I'm in contact here within my city. And she said, within 5 minutes, it had a 25% open rate, which was really quite interesting to us. So people are wanting that personal touch or that contact, it seems. That's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And actually, it's Pablo and Simone that I got the idea from. So, you know what? That's great ideas, and they spread. And that's what I'm hoping will spread out to everyone. And that if you do that with your clients and your friends, and you just touch base with them and then get to know who you're not hearing from, you know, I got to tell you, there's still a lot of people in this world who live life alone. They may look like the, you know, superstar of the party. And yet when things like this happen, no one reaches out to them. And so I'm kind of watching right now to make sure that we touch base with everybody in eXp Canada, and including staff, and we just do a check-in. So think about that. And also wanted to remind you that something that's really cool to do, if you're not doing it, is to create your morning, especially when you're at home now and you're not leaving so much, but create a morning ritual. You know, it's always important to start the day with gratitude, and to also, you know, do your morning ritual. What motivates you in the morning? Is it a spiritual? Is it an exercise? Is it laughter? What is it?
Hey, thanks for the plug, Ben, because that's exactly what my talk is about at 12:30 today.
Well, great. But you're going to have to do those kind of things right now. And hopefully if you create that habit, you'll keep it.
Hey Deb, am I getting that right? That Zoom link, like, I think that would be a great opportunity. We've got some realtor Facebook groups in our town just to invite people to show, you know, how we are and who we are. The 6 o'clock Zoom. So what is the premise that we could say, hey, if you want to attend these meetings, this is kind of what it's going to be about?
What would you like it to be about?
I think that honestly, just
our little bowler there in the background.
Oh, I got to get away from here. A forum for people to come and talk and share what's going on. I think share their business stories, and of course, lead with, like you said, opportunities if they have speakers, if they want to speak. And I think just it depends if it's going to be eXp focused or just people in general of how we promote it. But I think it's a great idea to. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a great opportunity just to promote who we are and how basically our culture and our core values again.
Yeah, that's all it is. And how cool is that? And you know what? I keep looking at this stuff and I go like, why haven't I thought of this before? How many of you are having that moment?
I think this is all part of our evolution, Deb. It really is.
It's pretty cool. So who else has something they'd like to speak about here?
If I could share, I involved in several, not only agent networking groups for many years, but also through some networking with different management and, you know, people like Brian Madigan and that group. I have piled so far all of the COVID clauses as suggested by the Greater Toronto Area lawyers that got together and put something together. I have some data and that on recovery from 2017 and how long it took and that sort of thing, and from 2008 when we had the recovery from there. And just this morning I was sent direct phone numbers every single banking institution.
Wow. Wow.
inside numbers, not the 800 numbers. Somebody sent me and said, this might help you. It was just sent to us. And I now have direct lines to all of the mortgaging departments, apparently, for all of the lenders, and not just the A lenders, the B lenders. It goes on and on and on.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
We need to
Of course,
compile
you're going to
these
share it out too, or post it somewhere where everyone can grab it, right?
Yeah, we need to compile these resources and have them available in one spot, a G drive or something.
Yeah. So, Rick, can you check in with some other of the leadership and see if you guys can figure out a way to do that?
Yeah.
And another thing that we're doing, and we're right in the middle of it right now, is creating an, so to speak, an address book for everybody, so you know who to contact for what across Canada as far as the staff goes. So that's something else that we're doing right now. What else can we do for you to help you? Nothing. Nobody else has any suggestions?
Deb, I don't have a suggestion, but I did receive an email back from Tony Spagnolo yesterday afternoon in regards to, unfortunately, they cannot do video calls or DocuSign, Authentisign for clients. They have to physically see them, and they have to physically have pen to paper. That apparently is a law society. That was as of yesterday, and that may change over time. I spoke with land titles here in British Columbia, and they physically can do everything remotely. So that in itself is a very good faction. However, if law firms close, then unfortunately we in real estate currently will not be able to have deals closed. The brokers out here in BC have also come up with a force majeure clause pending that could be put into a multiple listing contract and, of course, in a contract of purchase and sale. We can share that with everyone if they wish to be utilized. However, word of caution from us is that any client that allows you to do that, they need to make sure that they seek independent legal advice in regards to that if their lawyer is open.
If I can comment on that, because my wife runs a law firm here in the GTA, that has been a hot topic about the personal signing. And there is an organization, a networking of lawyers that is right now working very diligently to change that. And some of them have said they would go actually ahead in defiance of the Law Society and sign it anyway. So that's growing, and it's growing really quickly. So when this comes out, maybe one of the beautiful silver linings, the yang to the yin, is that maybe we'll have that perfected and now set back into law. So certain things, changes will happen, and once they happen, it'll never go back. So they are fighting for that. But right now, my wife's law firm is planning on taking the boardroom, sealing it off, having a lawyer inside with a plastic sheet across the door, and a table outside that sheet so people can come in, sign, and leave.
Wow. Good.
So Rick, just to be clear then, what you're saying is currently at your wife's law firm, this is what they're doing. They have a lawyer in a sealed off room, and the people are outside with the documentation for them to sign. Is that correct?
That is what they are looking at doing.
So they then can show their ID to the lawyer.
Yep.
And okay, that makes sense. I hear
Through
you.
a plastic,
Yep.
clear plastic sheet. The lawyer will be able to look at the ID, record it, take a picture of it, watch them sign right in front of them. The person can leave. Then the lawyer can sanitize their hands, put on gloves, whatever, and take the documentation. So they're looking at ways right now. The majority of lawyers are fighting to change for electronic signatures.
That's good. Very good. Thank you for that update.
And once it happens somewhere, it'll happen all over the place. You know,
Yes.
that if one law society says yes, it'll fall.
Well, if the center of the universe is the GTA, if that does, then everything does.
I like the way you think. I like the way you think.
Oh, my Lord.
We do have a law firm in Alberta that's also looking at doing video conferencing for identifying clients as well. So it's something new. And
That would be great,
electronic signatures.
And what about signatures? Are they looking to do like a FantaSign, DocuSign?
Yeah, they're looking into electronic signatures finally. So this might be a good situation.
Absolutely.
Might be a really good situation. We may get them to accept EFTs too, instead of doing everything by fax. They may accept emails.
They want gold bullion now.
Sheesh. What's that?
Ontario lawyers are starting to do the.
Sarah, you're so quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my internet. Everybody's home using.
So here's the thing is, Sarah, just thinking of Sarah, this might be the perfect time to really work on your sky slope. Just get that, and anybody you know that doesn't know it yet, anybody you've brought into eXp, it might be a great time to get them through that. Some of the stuff I'd like to do is to work with you guys as sponsors, and to see how we could build your rev share too as well. Because by doing that, can you imagine? For those of you who are actually earning rev share, there's still a lot of transactions that are in our system, a lot, and they're going to close. And guess who's going to get the rev share? You guys are. So there's going to be some income coming in. Now, if this happened a year from now, and you've learned from this point on, I want to teach you how to do it right. I want to bring in the guys that are doing it really well. And I watched the presentation in Calgary on how to teach rev share so that it makes sense for people that are looking towards retirement. It was phenomenal. And I know each one of you has a gift zone somewhere in there. Now, what would it look like if we started strategizing on that and putting that together and then teaching you it?
Who put that presentation on, Deb? Who put that presentation on?
Oh, I can tell you later. I don't want to put this person on the spot because I know that there would be 100 million emails, and I know that or a text message, and there would that. But just talk to me later.
I think it's a great idea, though.
It's really fabulous, but I know that they have a lot on their plate right now, and so I don't want to put them right on the spot. But it's phenomenal, and I've gone to a few of them, and each one I go to, you may think that maybe I'm not paying 100% attention unless you're Brent Gubb, and then I'm watching his numbers real careful. I love Brent, so that was no pun, but it's just funny that he looks to me all the time now if I'm in the room. Was that the number for Canada? And but you know what? We have great ways. I mean, Phil, is Randy here? You and Phil, you guys have got some great ways of getting the points across without selling them. We want to get away from selling and telling and really creating great information. So this is the time we can take to learn that. Would you guys just raise your hand if you think that's a good idea, or type in the text here?
Great idea, Deb.
Yeah.
Awesome idea.
So we're gonna start working on some of that stuff. My influencers, we're still meeting by Zoom calls and in the world. So that's next week. Those that were coming out to Semiamu that we had to cancel. So we're still going to meet. And I'm hoping that from our meetings, we're going to develop this and be the true leaders, the true influencers of Canada, and step up and be able to share our message, because no one will ever do it exactly the same way. And what if we could take that level of respectability up to a whole other level and attract people? This is the time. And I want you guys to have this opportunity. If this ever comes again, I want you to go, it's okay. We're going to get through this. And I know I have closings, not just mine, but people in my rev share. And I'm going to help those who do not. And we just send that abundance across. So we just have to think a little bit different. Does that make sense?
Totally.
I think workplace is going to be ingredient for us all. So all you people that are in the room right now, if you could let your people in your register know to keep an eye on workplace and workplace chat groups, that perhaps we can have more people than 100 in this room in the future and really group together and make things happen for everybody. So workplace and workplace chat are key ingredients for us moving forward.
I right. Kirk, you're asking, I have to ask something about what eXp can do for us. So ask away.
Yes. My name is Kirk Hagen. I am from Montreal, Quebec.
Welcome.
The ideas that came in my mind, what we can do because of the, looks like we're going to have for 5 months rough times as agents. Like, for example, government helping the people. I'm wondering, okay, like what eXp can do for the agent, for to help them the financial, or somehow there is a way to do something from the corporation.
Absolutely. And right now, everything has been tightened up as far as what we're doing. And I know that that's what they're working on right now from Jason, our CEO, and Glenn, and Alan Goldman. I was actually having conversations with him because we've already been asking. Willie brought this up for all the agents already. And so I've left the messages. We've had some dialogues around it. And we're preparing. We're just getting organized. We do already give 50% of our company dollar out the window right away. Like on the 22nd, 50% of our income that we make as a company goes to the agents, goes directly to the agents. So that we already do. So our company dollar is still 50%. And now to continue operating, we have X amount of dollars, as you know, that it's going to cost us to operate. So we have to make sure those two parts are safe. And then what's the difference is what we're going to look at. So definitely, and I will keep you posted as I hear.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah, the ESP model makes more sense than ever. Oops, sorry. Yeah, don't be an ambulance. Yeah, that's really good. Like it's not an ambulance chaser. Let's just be the attractors that you guys are. Let's not even talk necessarily about eXp this, eXp that. Let them come in and feel it. Let them come in and see it. We don't. Our company's good enough that it stands on its own. I know that sometimes I've had to have compliance conversations that aren't always pleasant with certain people. And a lot of people would want to bend the rules to look after certain people. And I just go, no, our model stands alone. Our model is so strong. And because we are so strong in that we follow the core values, it stands alone. And that's where we need to be. We don't need to sell it. Right now, we don't need to tell it. We need to be a human, and we need to be a human being and just be. And then attract into our company those people who may or may not be interested in us long term, but we may plant seeds. That's all we need to do is plant seeds. And I tell you, once you start to plant the seed, you can't unsee it. Once you start to feel this that we have in this room right now, you can't unfeel it. Though we're all avatars, you can still feel that energy. When you look at our workplace as a community, you can feel that. How many of you were at eXpCon? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, quite a few at eXpCon. Do you remember when we were in that room on Thursday night after we'd gone to Zappos? And we were in that room, and the Americans all wanted to come into our room, and they wanted to learn about what we were doing. All the exec came. Do you remember how cool that feeling was in that room? And that energy, and how we were all so amazingly pumped because we could do anything. And we had that conference had a lot to do with the Canadian influence in there. When we showed up in our hockey jerseys, yeah. When we did that, it gives you goosebumps. It was so amazing. And those are the kind of things we want to do. And that's who we want them to see. And we show that just by, I know I walk by an avatar just in the hall, or not in the hall necessarily, but in the walkways, on the sidewalks there. And I turn and I say hello to them. And they almost fall over, but they answer right away. That's who we are. That's Canadians. So let's open our community, exactly what Willie is saying. I know that we have like the little girl guides. We have BNI groups. We have schools right now that are shut down. And if we can help them in any way possible, let's be those ambassadors. If you have clients that do like a mom and talk group, well, man, they can still do the mom and talk group, but they can do it in our world. I'll share my office. They can use my office if all the meeting rooms are taken. But we can do this stuff, and they can still, all the moms can still meet. The kids can all play in their own houses, and they can meet in our virtual world. Like, this is something you can extend out. And let's make it work. So,
that's amazing. Deb, I have a question. It might be a very silly question, but I was asked by a few people. So, yes, we are super, super happy that we can offer our world. So if somebody, let's say, wants to meet like a group of people, let's say to present multiple offers or whatever, they would still have to download the whole world, right? There's not a portion of Verbella that's different now just for that kind of stuff. Do you know?
We do have the room where we don't need to have the whole part downloaded. It's where we do the eXp presentations. So I would have to ask Donna, and I can get back to you on that.
That would be
Does anyone else know in this room the answer to that one?
Well, Verbella has an open office. It's not part of eXp, but it is part of Verbella, and they can meet there. It's an easier download.
That's okay, great. So there is an easier download. That was my question.
Yeah, it doesn't require any login or emails or what have you. Glenn, in a live interview about Verbella yesterday,
Great, so thank you everybody for joining us.
Informed us all that there is a web version of Verbella coming out, and they're testing right now. So that is very, very imminent, actually, that there's going to be a web-based version rather than a app-based version coming out.
Beautiful. So I'll keep my eyes open then. Thank you, guys.
Anything else from? How about Willie? Anything? No. Harm, are you there?
I don't know if you can answer this now, but given that the events are canceled, how is that going to impact Icon agents, or have they considered that already?
I don't have an answer to that one. I'll text Tina, but I don't think it's going to affect you. And so I will find out. I'll post it to all the icons at the same time.
Hey, Pablo, it's John Hopkins here. I think that, a lot of the icons that will, not the icons, but the influencers that we'll be meeting with next week, just make a list of all those pertinent questions, because those are all good ones, and those are ones that we can sort out when we're meeting with Glenn next week. And then share it with the group moving forward as we move forward in this adventure.
Gotcha, thanks.
I believe I had heard that the online, they've moved the shareholders event to an online event, and that your participation, the lineup of speakers, all of that will still be on schedule, but virtual. So I think that that is really good. Yeah, that's going to be really amazing. Then the people who couldn't physically attend, actually, we should have bigger numbers now in attendance for that, because all the education, the breakouts, the masterminds, the speakers, all of that will be available online. So I think that's a great opportunity to get involved, and I think this is where the icons also will be able to still participate and show attendance, right?
Very cool. Anything else anyone has?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something I saw yesterday. CREA passed a bylaw yesterday, and the CREA AGM will be held virtually this year as well.
Wow.
Oh, wouldn't that be great in our environment?
I invited them. They didn't commit to coming to our place, but they did say it would be virtual.
Interesting. Donna, anything?
Sorry, Deb. I couldn't get to my mic. No, thanks.
Okay, Nevin. Nevin might not be in the room. Peter, anything? Angela? Sandy? No? Okay.
It's Simone. I just want to say one last thing, and I apologize we didn't pop in until 10 minutes late. Pablo posted a link to our financial preparedness talk from last night. It's in the chat, and I just want to say to everyone here, please pass this on to anyone. If you just have a need to talk about finances, I'm more than happy. I'm not a financial planner, but if you're feeling pressured, if you want to talk about anything, just reach out to me and work chat, and we can set up a time. I'm happy to do that.
I have one question, Deb, if I can.
Okay, now.
So sorry, I came in just about 10, 15 minutes late here, so I don't know, maybe you went over this, but for the people that weren't able to make it here today, or for the agents that we can share this meeting with today, are there going to be notes that have been taken? Has anybody taken notes, or is something going to go out that we can share?
I'm sorry, I didn't take any notes. We perhaps should be recording these.